Hey guys!
Bonjour. Bienvenue à Men of the Den.
Aujourd'hui, avec Men of the Den, dimanche. Believe it or not, I took French for 12 years.
I took Spanish for 4.
It's one of those things, if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
I mean, I don't really use the Spanish that I learned.
Maybe I smoked too much weed.
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenidos a Men of the Den. Me llamo Ken. Este es Philhelmina.
It's Phyllis. Thank you. So, yes. It is Sunday, and it is Sunday. I have nothing else to say. That's it for this week, guys. Bye! Yeah, so gonna be just like a quick catching up video, nothing too crazy because it's not really been a very interesting week for us. On Tuesday we went for our second dose of the COVID vaccine, so that is Pfizer dose, like we did last week.
In just over a week's time we'll be considered fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
And that's actually kind of unheard of in Canada right now because only about 4.5% of the population is fully vaccinated.
Yeah, at the time that we got vaccinated, we were the 2%, and that is not what I wanted. I wanted to be part of the 1%. So, getting closer.
Eat the rich.
I'll take their money.
Money corrupts.
Not as much as power. Absolute power corrupts. Absolutely.
If you think money doesn't lead to power, you're sorely mistaken.
Oh, I would be one of those guys that would give it all away. Like, I got enough to survive, enough to not worry about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Enough to survive, enough to be happy, and then the rest I would be like, no. You need money? Yeah, here, what do you need? Okay, here you go. But we discussed that last week a little bit.
Yeah.
Or the week before. I don't know.
So
all the weeks are blurring together.
To summarize it, we are fully vaccinated, or will be Tuesday after next. So just in time for the non-existent Pride in Toronto.
Yes, weird side effects from vaccine number 2. This hair was straight, and so was he. No, I wasn't. And neither was that. That was never straight. I was never straight.
No, just some soreness and some fatigue. Yeah, that's right. I'm pulling you back into the conversation. It really knocked the wind out of him. I was tired, very tired, but outside of that, I had some muscle soreness, and that was it.
Yeah, I had a couple side effects. Nothing like I didn't have the flu. We checked her temperature, we did all of that, we were good in that respect. I had the fun side of it, so, like the, probably a little TMI, but I was like frequent bathroom trip.
It's rough in a house that only has one bathroom.
Do not go in there. Woo!
But the adverse, like the super warning side effects, none. So we were all good in that respect.
Yeah.
So after 2 or 3 days sitting around doing absolutely nothing, we were like, yes! Oh my god, feeling great today! What's it like outside? It is 6 degrees.
Cold.
It went from 33 to 6 degrees.
Yeah, so for those of you in the US watching, that's like upper 80s down to like low 50s.
Yeah, so we stayed home and did nothing because it was freezing ass cold out.
It's a true story.
Canada! Woo!
To be fair, it's now cold where my brother's at in Cincinnati because it just made its way down.
It's coming from the northeast and it's going southwest. Yeah. So, if you're in that trajectory, enjoy the. If you're in the wow.
If you're Inuit and you're watching, welcome. We love you.
If you're in that path, enjoy the cold snap.
That was a lot of effort.
I know.
Short sentence.
It really was, and that's why this week's video is going to be short. Because, you would think after all that downtime, everything would be good, and I would know what I'm talking about. But really, no, it's business as usual.
Yep.
Phil is brainless.
No. Phil is excited and talking over himself.
Maybe. It's the hair. It's fabulous, right?
We are on the verge of June, which is Pride Month, and I had kind of a question for the audience. If we did specific, like just us on weekends, if we did Pride-themed videos, like if we covered like Marsha P. Johnson or the Stonewall riots or like Harvey Milk or things like gay history, is that something you guys would be actually interested in, or would we just be doing a lot of work and not getting any views for it?
Yeah, because I feel like there are some gay figures that have gotten a lot of representation, and then some gay figures that not a lot of people know about. One we've talked about previously on this channel is Weiwa, the first transgender person to be welcomed to the White House. Also, Indigenous. Like Ken said, if you want to know anything like that, if you want any like pride, gay history, any themed videos like that.
Yeah, it could be bear specific, it could be LGBT specific, it could be history. Is that something that you guys would want if we did like one each week during Pride Month?
I don't know about Pride where you guys are right now, but our local Pride has been canceled. Toronto Pride's been canceled. They're doing all like virtual stuff, and I mean, it's not really the same.
Yeah.
We're looking at tickets for the Inside Out Film Festival. I unfortunately don't think we're going to be able to fit it into our budget this year. They're doing digital screening, and the tickets are a little bit out of our price range, so...
But yeah, so that was my big question for the week. That, and I think we wanted to talk a little bit about what happened in British Columbia.
It's kind of been all over the news. It definitely has if you're here in Canada. I was checking on CNN earlier, and it's actually been posted on CNN, so I guess it's getting pretty big news worldwide. And if you don't know, recently there was an uncovering at an old residential school in BC. I believe it was in Kamloops, BC.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, residential schools were church and government-run schools that were designed with the sole purpose of forced assimilation. And a lot of the time, the children were literally stolen from their parents. It wasn't something that Indigenous youth desired to go to. It was like they were stolen from their families, and half the time these children were never heard from again.
Yes.
And this uncovering is shedding massive light on that. In the US, there are still native boarding schools that exist. They aren't run the same way that they were. Absolutely not. However, they are still the same original buildings, and they still are running.
Yeah, they still have that history attached. They're still the same buildings. The difference is now they are held to the public curriculum and standards, so the things that went on there in the past don't go on there still.
And the last one in Canada that closed was in 1996. Like, this isn't 100 plus years ago.
No,
this isn't
is
80
living
years
history.
ago. This is most people who are alive on the internet with some knowledge of Indigenous history probably don't know that 1996 was when the last residential school in Canada closed. So
yeah, Gordon's Indian Residential School in Saskatchewan was the last one, closed in 1996.
We've already known the history, but they uncovered 215. I'm sorry,
On the grounds of this school in British Columbia, they found the remains of 215 school-aged children from age 3 up. But what you have to understand is this is one school, and these schools existed all across Canada and the US. So if this school had 215, there could be another school out there that had more. It's a dark part of North American history. It's a genocide. These children were starved. They were beaten mercilessly, some of them to the point where they were killed. The disease went rampant in these schools, and some of these kids died of disease because they caught smallpox or whatever other disease, and they weren't given medical care. They were left to die. And that's what makes it so important to talk about, because if we lose that history, if we lose sight of where we've been, history has this nasty way of repeating itself. And that's why it's important that we highlight these things and we talk about them and we raise awareness. Your great or great?
If I'm not mistaken, and if there's any family watching, please comment, let me know. As far as I'm aware, it was my grandfather and my great-grandfather.
And they were sent to the school in Brantford.
Yes. For Mohawk youth.
That school still exists. It's not used for that purpose anymore. But that school still, the building still stands, and I'm sure if they did the same thing and used the ground penetrating radar, they would probably have a similar discovery on their hands.
That building is now owned by the
Six
Nations Council. They have basically upkept it. They want to keep it open as a museum, so not to erase the history, but show people. Like they do with the Holocaust museums.
Exactly what I was going to say. The same sort of idea as when you visit Auschwitz and you have these exhibits of what things actually look like, and the magnitude of what happened there just hits you. It's important to preserve that so that it's understood and so that history doesn't repeat.
Yeah. And it's also there for the people that refuse to recognize the history, so that way they can see it firsthand.
Yes.
Because it's one thing to be told that things happen in the country that you call home, and it's something entirely different to actually see and live them firsthand, witness it firsthand. It's something entirely different, and sometimes you don't fully grasp it until you have that physical reminder. So I think it will be a great place of healing for a lot of people, but right now there's a lot of pain, and it was just kind of confirmation for what we knew and suspected for a long time. And moving forward, this will allow us to heal as a community. So, but yeah, I think that might do it for us this week. Sorry to get so heavy. It was just something very personal, and it needed to be talked about. So
on that note, we would like to wish our family and friends in the U.S. a safe and happy, I guess, Memorial Day weekend. This is a long weekend for you. Canada had theirs last weekend for Victoria Day. So we do wish you, it sounds so weird to say Happy Memorial Day because it's a day to honor the dead, but for lack of a better term, Happy Memorial Day. And on that note, we will be back next week with a fun little video. Let us know again if you'd like us to talk about Pride over the next month, since June is Pride Month. Also, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Give us a like over on Facebook. We also have Derek, Greg, and Steve have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/menoftheden. Ed also has a Twitch, which is twitch.tv/edculp. And we will be posting their schedules periodically to the Den page as well on Facebook. So take a look out for that, and we will see you guys next week.
bye.
Bye.